Hey, I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be talking about something with Petco and PetSmart when it comes to reptiles and amphibians. So surprisingly today, this isn't really throwing them under the bus. Well, I guess it kind of is, but that's not the focus of this video. So recently I got a comment, this was just a couple hours ago. Please help me, I got a leopard gecko from Petco, and they told me all I need is heat lamps and worms. I noticed she stopped eating lately, and I had her for about a year and a half now. I recently educated myself on vitamins and calcium and realized that I need these, which I was not previously told. My gecko doesn't walk right, and I fear it has NBD, and it's too late to save it. Please help. So this is definitely a really sad comment to see. NBD, by the way, is a bone disease that happens a lot in reptiles, but it can also happen in other animals, I think. But I know it happens in geckos and reptiles and stuff. And so basically this person went to Petco, and the same thing can happen at PetSmart. They went to the store to get a new pet, and then they pick out the animal they want, and then naturally you're gonna ask them questions on like how to care for it and just anything you need to know about it, and you're gonna expect that any information you're told is correct. So they said all they need is a heat lamp and worms. I'm guessing mealworms is what they said, because I know Petco carries those. And basically this is completely incorrect. You generally don't want heat lamps, and you do want, mealworms work just fine, but there's much more to it. Like they just said, I educated myself on vitamins and calcium, which they need calcium. Okay, so the workers at Petco and PetSmart, their job is like whatever they're hired for, and then in addition to that is to help customers with whatever they need. So they're going to answer questions to the best of their ability. However, they're not going to know just how to care for every animal that works there. Like if I was there and then someone comes up and asks me something about like ferrets. I've never kept a ferret. The problem, this is sort of their fault, but not entirely, because I would just say what I know about them. However, personally, I would say, like, I don't know everything to this. You need to ask someone else or find other sources for it. But basically, they just say, like, what they think is right. They'll base it off kind of just what they've heard in general. The problem is there's just so many details and important things, so you just can't just take whatever. If you get an animal from one of these places, I have more about getting animals from them. You can, and if you do, then they don't necessarily know everything. It makes perfect sense that you would believe that. This is not at all this person's fault, because if you get an animal from somewhere, you're going to expect to be able to believe them, like just listen to them, take exactly what they say, because they work there, that's what they're there for. But they're not going to know everything, so it really sucks that they don't know everything to this, and that they didn't say, like, direct them to another source. But basically that's just why I'm making this video, to tell you, if you got an animal from one of these places, whether it's a reptile or not, just don't listen exactly what they say. They could be right, they could be completely wrong, they could get parts right. You need to look just everywhere you can to make sure and verify that what they told you is correct, because there's more to it than just a heat lamp and worms like this person was told. Luckily, now they said it's been a year and a half that they've been doing this, and they just now found out about these things. I don't know how. Basically, just you can tell others about this, and just make sure that you definitely take their advice, listen to what they say, but just make sure it's true and accurate, because those are just workers there probably, and if they don't specialize in that, they might not be perfectly correct. Even if, like, if you're watching one of my videos and I say something, I believe everything I say is correct. I always correct myself when people correct me in the comments. I always make sure it's clear that I was wrong about something, but it's not a bad idea to take what I say and then go other places and make sure what I said is right. I always do my best to make sure it's correct, but just with any information source, you're just told this like with anything, but especially with live animals. Take information from one place, but make sure you check multiple sources to make sure it's correct, because sadly, in this specific case with Petco and PetSmart and other pet stores like that, you have to just make sure that you don't purely listen to them, even though it doesn't really make any sense. You should be able to. Unfortunately, you can't all the time. Okay, sorry, this is a bit of a rant video, I guess, but maybe you got something out of it. I hope so. I hope I got my point across. But yeah, that's it for this sort of quick video. I'm Alex, and thanks for watching.